Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Friday, March 17. Leader of the opposition, Portia Simpson Miller, has expressed her support for the move to increase the insurable wage ceiling under the National Insurance Scheme. Mrs. Simpson Miller says there is a need to increase the number of contributors of the scheme as well as the amount paid by the self-employed. While agreeing that many Jamaicans do not take retirement planning seriously, Mrs. Simpson Miller called for a special standing committee on Social Security.
Going forward, there needs to be a comprehensive social security framework to take us into the next 50 years. I also propose that a special standing committee on social security be established in this Parliament to focus on increasing participation in pension schemes as well as on promoting retirement planning and savings in the nation.
Mrs. Simpson Miller was making her final contribution to the budget debate as leader in Parliament Thursday. In her farewell presentation, Mrs. Simpson Miller reflected on her 43 years of service representing the people.
I've seen the good, the bad, the happy, and the sad. But above all, I've had an incredible journey of service to my beloved people and the country. Empowering and uplifting the people from persistent poverty have been central to my political philosophy and practice.
Mrs. Simpson Miller has made 11 contributions to the budget debate, 5 as opposition leader and 6 as Prime Minister. On April 2, Mrs. Simpson Miller will step down as leader of the People's National Party, but will remain as Member of Parliament for South West St. Andrew. The Senate will now deliberate on 2 bills which will allow government to collect taxes imposed on certain telephone calls since 2012. This after the House of Representatives on March 15 passed the Telephone Calls Tax Act 2017 and the Telephone Calls Tax Validation and Indemnification Act 2017.
It is proposed to validate the collection of the telephone calls tax from the period August 30, 2012 and ending on the enactment date of the proposed Telephone Calls Tax Act. It is further proposed to indemnify the government and all persons who, in good faith, collected the telephone call tax during the period to the enactment date of the proposed Telephone Calls Tax Act from any liability.
Finance Minister Audley Shaw explained that the telephone calls tax took effect by way of a provisional order since 2012 but was not confirmed. However, stakeholders relied on a technical note provided by Tax Administration Jamaica reflecting the policy intent, and that gave guidance on how the tax would be administered. Construction is to begin in the next several weeks on a $330 million 190 megawatt power plant at Old Harbour in St. Catherine. Cabinet gave approval for the Jamaica Public Service to build the plant, which will be able to generate electricity using natural gas and automotive diesel oil. Chairman of the Electricity Sector Enterprise Team, Professor Alvin Wint, made the disclosure during a recent press briefing.
The power purchase agreement for the 190 Old Harbour plant has been signed. The generating license has been granted. Environmental permits have been received. A contract has been signed with TSK, an engineering, procurement, and construction company. The shareholder agreement has been signed by all the parties. All of the loan and bond financing agreements are in place, and the loan process has been led locally by NCB with a syndicate of Jamaican financial institutions.
Professor Wint also used the press briefing to disclose the disbandment of the Electricity Sector Enterprise Team. He said the team's work is to be absorbed into the generation procurement entity, which is to be semi-autonomous and under the direction of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. Operators of public passenger vehicles whose road licenses are to expire on March 31 are being encouraged to take advantage of the Transport Authority's extended opening hours.
During the next 2 Sundays this month, we will open our examination facilities to allow persons to come in, the public passenger vehicles to come in and have these vehicles examined. So on March 19 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the authority will open its office in the northern region and at Lake Spence, St. Catherine. On March 26, 2017, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The Transport Authority's Acting General Manager for Human Resource and Administration, Petra Keane Williams, was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. She said come March 31, over 30,000 road licenses for public passenger vehicles will expire.
To date, some 9,136 vehicles have been examined, which means that there are some 20,000 vehicles that have not yet been examined.
And finally, Minister responsible for sport, Olivia Grange, says she expects football development in the region will be bolstered with Wednesday's opening of the Confederation of North, Central America and Caribbean Association Football, CONCACAF. The minister's comments were delivered by State Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Pernell Charles Jr.
Through this new office, I expect increased collaboration, engagement, and improvement of the technical capacity of our sport administrators, coaches, agents, managers, and players in the Caribbean and across CONCACAF.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.